The movie opens at a high school party. Rhoda Williams, a 17-year-old girl and an exceptionally bright student, has just been accepted into MIT. She celebrates the news with her boyfriend. In the background, she narrates how her fascination with space began after seeing Jupiter's rapid rotation in one of NASA's Voyager images. Rhoda feels unstoppable, ready to achieve anything. Late that night, she drives intoxicated while listening to a radio broadcast about a new planet, one with its own moon, identical to Earth, that has suddenly appeared in the solar system. Scientists are astonished since no one had previously detected it. The radio host invites listeners to look north to see the planet, clearly visible from Earth. Drunk and distracted, Rhoda peers out her car window while speeding down the road. Nearby, a family of three is parked, talking with their young son, who names his toy robot Bob. The parents laugh and reveal that the mother is pregnant. Their moment is abruptly cut short when Rhoda's car crashes into them, causing a devastating accident. Injured but conscious, Rhoda steps out of her car and approaches the wreck, finding the couple unconscious. Horrified, she turns and sees the boy lying lifeless on the pavement. As police sirens wail in the distance, the screen fades to black, showing the mysterious planet hanging in the sky. A brief scene reveals Rhoda in prison, arrested for the tragedy. 4 years later, a news report announces that Earth 2 has come much closer to Earth and appears to be its perfect duplicate, matching continents, oceans, and even cities as seen through telescopes. Scientists have sent radio transmissions to Earth 2 and received a response, though they have been unable to decode it. Some insist the planet is merely a cosmic mirror reflecting Earth's image. After serving her time, Rhoda is released from prison and picked up by her parents. Her brother mentions an essay contest sponsored by millionaire Keith Harding, who is funding the first manned mission to Earth 2 and offering one civilian ticket to whoever writes the most compelling essay. Back home, Rhoda looks through her old room but feels estranged from her former self. Staring out the window, she's captivated by Earth 2 glowing in the sky. Sitting at her laptop, she researches United Space Ventures, the organization behind the contest, but can't bring herself to begin writing. Instead, she moves her belongings to the attic, declares it her new room, and decorates the wall with a picture of the night sky. The next day, Rhoda goes to an employment office seeking work. As an ex-convict, she's unable to attend MIT or any other college. Though the clerk offers her several opportunities, Rhoda insists on a job that requires no interaction. She becomes a janitor at her former high school and takes quiet satisfaction in her work. On the 4th anniversary of the crash, Rhoda visits the intersection where it happened. A car pulls up and a man gets out. It's the same man she saw in the other car that night. Shocked to see him alive, she watches as he places a toy robot at a nearby post in memory of his son before driving away. Rhoda rushes home and searches online, discovering his name, John Burroughs. Both John's wife and son had died in the car accident, but he had gone into a coma. A few years later, he woke up and has been living alone ever since. Through research, Rhoda learns that he has left his position at Yale's music faculty. She notes down his address and goes to meet him the next day. Unsure of what to do, she peers through his window, watching him drink in his cluttered living room. The night is snowy and cold. Consumed by guilt and seeing John's despair, Rhoda breaks down. She wanders into the snow, slowly shedding her clothes. Shivering, she collapses beneath the open sky, her fingers turning blue from hypothermia as she stares at Earth 2. The screen fades to black. Rhoda later wakes in a hospital bed. Someone had found and saved her from freezing to death. Her fingers are damaged, but she has no fatal injuries. Once home, she finally writes her essay for the Earth 2 flight. In it, she argues that outcasts and misfits have always been the first to take part in bold experiments, and that, as a felon, she is the rightful candidate for the mission. Feeling freed after submitting her essay, she visits a grocery store for candy and runs into her high school boyfriend from that night years ago. He tells her he's now in business school and introduces his new girlfriend. When Rhoda mentions working as a janitor, he grows uncomfortable. Embarrassed, she walks out of the store empty-handed. Still haunted, Rhoda decides she must apologize to John. She visits his house again, but loses her nerve. Instead of confessing, she lies and pretends to be a maid offering a free cleaning service trial. John, who hasn't cleaned in months, agrees. Stuck in her lie, Rhoda continues cleaning. John notices her interest in a telescope in one of the rooms. When she finishes, he asks her to come again next week. Days pass as Rhoda practices telling the truth, but each time she visits, nerves silence her, and she just works quietly. Their weekly meetings continue, though John rarely speaks. One night, during a live broadcast, a scientist successfully contacts someone on Earth 2, her exact double. The revelation shocks the world. Earth 2 mirrors every person on Earth, identical in every detail. How would it feel to meet a perfect copy of yourself, living the life you once might have had? The discovery captivates Rhoda, who gazes at the glowing planet in awe. Scientists and philosophers debate whether these mirror versions have diverged in fate since the planets became aware of each other. John and Rhoda bond over their shared love for space and science. He invites her to use his telescope, and they later play video games, growing close. Their friendship becomes warmer, and one day as they discuss the expedition to Earth 2, Rhoda reveals her essay entry. John, skeptical about humanity's readiness, insists that people still cling to the belief that they are unique. His temper flares when he realizes Rhoda has washed a sweater that belonged to his late wife, and he angrily sends her away. A radio debate warns of potential danger if both Earths possess similar weapons, sparking fears of interplanetary war. Rhoda later finds John's car outside her home. He has come to apologize. She forgives him, and he insists she accompanies him somewhere. John takes her to a university auditorium, where he performs a haunting solo with a musical saw. Their connection deepens, and they end up sleeping together that night. Afterward, John opens up about the accident and his coma, but Rhoda still hides the truth. Days later, Rhoda learns she has won the essay contest. Millionaire Keith Harding himself calls to tell her she will journey to Earth 2. Overjoyed, she rushes to tell John. He is happy at first, but then pleads with her not to go, saying he sees a future with her. Terrified of her own deceit, Rhoda finally confesses that she was the driver who caused the accident. John falls silent, numb, and quietly asks her to leave. Soon after, news spreads of her winning the ticket. Reporters swarm her home, digging up her past. Her father rescues her from the chaos. She receives her flight ticket from United Space Ventures. Watching a scientist's new theory on television, Rhoda learns that the lives on both planets mirrored each other exactly until they became aware of one another 4 years ago, when they began to diverge. She wonders if her counterpart on Earth 2 never caused the crash. Rhoda rushes to John's house to give him her ticket, but he refuses to see her. Undeterred, she sneaks in, and he attacks her in rage until she manages to explain the theory that his family might still be alive on Earth 2. She leaves the ticket for him and walks out silently. Months later, Rhoda resumes her simple routine, now lighter after her confession. Watching the news, she sees John preparing for the mission. He has accepted her gift and will travel to Earth 2. For months later, as Rhoda walks home from work, she stops, breathless. Her mirror self from Earth 2 stands before her. The film closes as the two identical Rhodas silently face each other.